Good morning. Welcome to Expert Insights. I'm your host Raju Mandhyan. Here at Expert Insights, we take external views of the internal successes by foreigners, expats, and immigrants who have made Philippines their home. So just after that little discussion, the deep, insightful discussion with the Ambassador of India, Ambassador Amit Dasgupta, we now have a gentleman who will take us to the outer space, to what India is, where to go to India, and where to go, places to go in the Philippines. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Arjun Shroff, the Director of the Filipino-Indian Chamber of Commerce and the Chairman of Shroff Travels International. Welcome to Expert Insights, Arjun.
Thank you, Raju, for this opportunity to be with you.
How many years have you been a travel agent, Arjun?
To let you know the secret, it's about 32 years.
32 years, that's not a very long time.
Well,
how long have you been married?
28 years.
To a Filipina?
Absolutely.
And did you meet her in the Philippines or in India?
No, we met in Saudi Arabia.
No kidding.
My daughters were born in Saudi Arabia also.
And
that's where the journey began.
So is that the beard memory from Saudi Arabia?
Absolutely. She refuses to recognize me if I remove the beard.
What's her name?
Emma.
Emma. So Emma, watch Arjun.
Her Indian name is Kanchan.
Kanchan, and what does it mean?
And precious.
Does she have a Filipino name for you, Arjun?
Arjun, that's it.
Arjun. So Arjun, tell me now, in these 32 years of being in the travel business, bringing Indians to Philippines and Filipinos to India, you've been doing a lot of that.
Yes.
No? How many people have you moved back and forth, personally, through Shroff Travel?
Difficult to count number, maybe over 100,000, probably.
Bilateral, both
yes,
ways, no?
Yes.
And over the years, have you seen traffic coming more this way or traffic moving more that way?
It is growing on both directions as the relationships are growing.
Yeah.
And also the flight frequencies are improving, so that has helped to make the movement of the traffic both ways more easier. And with the presence of the low-cost carriers, that has helped a lot to also bring in our other ASEANs into the Philippines.
PAL is doing still one flight a week or more
three
than
times a week.
To Delhi only?
To Delhi only.
No Bombay yet?
No Bombay
Mumbai
yet, hopefully.
No? Now, if you were given the post Ambassador of Tourism for Philippines and India, no? What are the best places that you would recommend my Filipino audience to go to in India? What are the 3 best tours?
Number 1, the most famous and the most active tour that we do is the Golden Triangle, which starts with Delhi, then goes to Jaipur, ends in Agra, back in Delhi, heavy-duty shopping, crazy prices. People just love it. That is one of the primary routes.
Delhi, Agra, and Jaipur.
Delhi, Jaipur, Agra, and back to Manila.
Yeah, so it's just a triangle. Now,
Golden Triangle.
Now, wait. This is the northwest of India.
Correct.
Northwest of India.
Yes.
It's a dry land.
Yes.
It's a dry, arid land. So very hot in summer, very cold in winter.
Winters. No? That's why the season is best to do during September to February.
I think all of India is best to go in September to March.
February, yeah.
To February, yeah.
Yes.
Because March it starts heating up. Now, how much does this package cost, say, Class 2 and Class 1? If I want to go on budget, what's the best I could spend? What's the least I could spend? And if I want to go a bit luxury, what's the most I could spend?
Well, for a minimum...
What's the least I could spend,
for the least, on economy basis, with a 4-star hotel, which is the minimum basic we give for our passengers, it will be in the range of around $990. And on a higher angle, it would go for the same package on a 5-star would be about $1,400. All included.
How many days is this Golden?
This is 4 nights, 5 days, lunch, dinner, breakfast, city tours, guides, fees, everything included.
And the slightly expensive one is also the same amount of time?
Same package, but it's on a 5-star luxury.
Cheap.
Absolutely.
$990 US, that's cheap.
All meals included, all the curries in there.
All the curries in there, all the biryanis in there. And all the shuttles back and forth.
Everything.
How about the screaming Indians, taxi, you know, they try to sell you, buy you.
They're sitting in the buses, so that they visualize it as they go along.
That's the first trip. The second one?
Okay, the second, they could do extension to Kashmir, which is very beautiful.
Yeah.
They will enjoy Gulmarg and also the houseboats.
What do you mean extension to Kashmir? Is it a different tour or is it the same?
Yeah, from Delhi you fly to Kashmir and back to Delhi.
Yeah. Kashmir is safe nowadays?
Absolutely.
Nobody's shooting you in the knees for coming to Kashmir? Nobody
No,
putting an axe in your head? Nothing?
No, you're living in the ancient ages, Raju.
So I've never been to Kashmir. Unfortunately, I want to go to Kashmir.
Next time you go to Delhi, let me know.
Free trip from you?
Absolutely,
That's a deal.
done deal.
Okay, me and my missus. Okay, me and my missus. So Kashmir and Simla, or
Yes, you can do that by land from Delhi.
you don't have to go in summer. You can go in summer to Kashmir because it's cold.
It's
because
cold,
there's only
right.
part of India that's cold in
Yes,
summer.
that place is still okay up to June, July.
So what are the high and low budgets for this?
Extensions to Kashmir are also not so very expensive because the prices there are very regulated, and it will not go more than $350 to $400 for a 2-night, 3-day extension. Again, all meals included.
Wow, wow. So that's it. So one northwest, one super north. What about down south?
Down south, we have Kerala,
Yeah.
Goa, and Mumbai. So those are the other different
But
combinations.
these are very far apart. These
They are
cities,
far
okay.
apart. So you will have to do probably Goa and Mumbai together. Or if you do only Kerala, you can do 6-night Ayurveda, very beautiful backwaters.
Yeah, Kerala
living
massage.
in the yes.
That's very popular.
And this is also all-inclusive package, which is on a similar basis. You fly straight to Chennai, and
Wow,
there are more than 14 flights every day from India to Philippines.
Wow, I'm going. I'm going to take my little family with me. Now, Indians, 1.3 billion of them. No? Not many of them are coming to the Philippines, except for the outsourcing business and for the BPOs. No?
Yes.
You brought in packages before, or tourists.
Yes.
No? Tell me, what should Indians come to look for in the Philippines? What's more fun for them?
Fun in the Philippines is all fun the minute they arrive at the airport. The shortest distance from any airport in the whole world is from Manila International Airport to any hotel in Makati or Manila.
It's the shortest.
It's the shortest. You go
All
to
right,
any
Hong
other
Kong
airport,
and
you walk a lot, you break your legs reaching the immigration.
Suvarnabhumi is far, right? In Thailand.
So in that comparison, we are the most shortest time airport to reach your hotel. Plus, it's a land of smiles. Cost-wise, it's very, very inexpensive to the Indians. We have very fantastic shopping malls here, and Indians love to shop.
Yeah.
So every time we have a group, we have to make sure we give them half a day of shopping and a standard itinerary that they take usually, either FIT, honeymooners, or groups.
What is
or
FIT?
incentive. Fair inclusive tour for 2 people
Okay.
minimum,
Yeah.
or a group tour for group people, or
Yeah.
incentive for a company.
Yeah.
So we do all of these from different parts of India. They
Yeah.
fly in, and then we had groups of 450, 350,
350
at a time.
Mumbai's?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One
So-
time in Manila?
No, not only Manila, they do Manila Cebu, Manila Boracay, Manila Bohol.
Right,
There are groups who come to stay 8 nights, 9 nights also with families.
Yeah.
So since this is a very inexpensive country in comparative, I think Indians love it here when they come
Prefer
here.
to Thailand, prefer to Malaysia,
Definitely.
prefer to Hong Kong, Singapore.
Everybody speaks English. Service quality is very good.
Yeah.
Indian food is available.
Yeah.
There is no shortage of entertainment in this country. So
Yeah.
it's they have a great time.
So the only thing is time and distance.
Yes.
It's a little more farther away than the other Asian
Yeah.
countries.
All other Asian countries to India are 5.5 hours. India to Philippines is about 10.5 hours.
So you got to put in 1 extra day of travel.
Yes. No, it's about 3 hours more.
Yeah, but both ways, five
ways.
hours, that's 10 hours, no? That's
Yes,
enough.
right.
Arjun, recently I know that I remember that you brought in the movie makers.
Yes.
Yeah? And Bollywood's a big, big thing in India. It's second to Hollywood, no?
Right, right.
Now, there was talk, I remember hearing Mr. Ramon Jimenez
Yes.
inviting Bollywood to Batangas, to Boracay, to this thing, no? And you made a successful project of that, I think, a
Yes.
year ago. Would you want to tell me about that?
Well, Department of Tourism is fully committed to have
When you say the DOT, you're talking of Mr. Ramon Jimenez.
and his team.
Yeah.
Under him, all the team
Henario.
and Mr. Henario with the Philippine Tourism Board.
Yeah, yeah.
So all of them are putting their act together, and they are pushing very hard to bring tourists from all over the world.
Yeah.
And for India, they have a very special projects in which every time they have a road show, we go with them to Ahmedabad, to Hyderabad, to Calcutta, to Mumbai, to Delhi. I visit 2 or 3 times a year, or sometimes I
You go with DOT.
With DOT,
Yeah.
and the private sector joins them,
Yeah.
which helps them to educate the Indian
Right.
travel agents,
Yeah.
and then they are brought here for familiarization trips also.
Yeah.
I think also the movie industry, also the garment industry, all of them are coming,
Textiles.
the textile industry, they
Yeah.
have come to the Philippines, and DOT has supported them.
What was
in
your
what we are doing.
experience with the first movie team?
Well, the movies they made was a Tollywood South Indian movie, and they stayed for 40 days.
Yeah.
They had a crew of 40, so most of the expenses they did helps to revive the economy also.
So did they
On the
spend
local end.
lesser than they would have spent in Maldives or Australia?
Definitely, the cost point of view, this is like the US, the setting, the locations of Makati
Right,
City.
right. It's like
So
Puerto
you don't need to
Rico.
go to Los Angeles to duplicate US.
Wow,
You can
so
do
I
it
hope
right
they
here.
hear you, and I hope they come looking for this thing.
We wish.
Now, if you, again, I remember Mr. Jimenez talking about the challenge of bringing in more tourists to this country. We are so far hitting, I think, about 4 million a year, 4 or 5 million. No? And that goal is to make 10 million.
10 million
no?
by
What are
2016.
your recommendations? How do you think we can fast track the incoming tourism business, just like in Thailand or in Singapore or Hong Kong?
First of all, the country is becoming more stable. People are
That's a
realizing
plus.
that, yes,
That's a
and
plus.
the security issue has also been covered, and people are feeling that this is a safe place to come. And
Yeah.
also by word of mouth, every tourist who goes back recommends their friends to come back here. So that helps to boost inbound tourism.
Yeah.
Also the Filipino balikbayans who stay abroad, when they meet their expat counterparts or friends, they
They're
keep
promoting
talking to
their
them.
country, yeah.
Yes, so that gives a very big boost
Yeah.
internally and externally.
Yeah.
Plus, Department of Tourism is very, very highly focused on all markets which are bringing in numbers. So that is one plus point which is helping to reach the goal which the President and the Department of Tourism wants to achieve under Mr. Jimenez.
I just got back from Thailand, and Thailand's winning on tourism compared to us. Given the fact that the Thai culture and the Pinoy culture is almost the same, what I noticed in Thailand, even though we don't speak the same language, I mean, they don't speak much English, I thought that every tourist spot, airport, the railway track system, the bus system, there was lots of information booths. So even if you were not an English-speaking person, to get around Thailand seemed easier. The infrastructure seemed supportive of tourists. There was a lot of expats, tourists walking around in Thailand compared to Philippines. So what have they done right that we can copy or emulate?
Well, centrally located, Thailand is in more closer to Europe and to India and to China and to Hong Kong. I mean, though we are close to Hong Kong also, but comparatively, they have what you call more flight arrivals, 130, compared to Philippines having only 48. Remember, we had some European carriers who pulled out. Now with the sustaining of the economy, probably the European carriers will start coming back also. And the good news is Middle East carriers have raised their flights around 2 to 3 daily, going to the Middle East. So, and Cebu Pacific is going to fly to Dubai. So that is another plus for the Asian sectors.
So what you're saying, it was not a question of infrastructure, support or service, it was a much more macro
also the
shortage.
incremental of the flights.
Yeah, that's it. It's a big thing
yeah.
because there's nothing that the Department of Tourism could do because it was based on market conditions and economy.
Yes, and also like you said, they have an infrastructure in place. Every hotel has got a small little cube box which has small dockets of information. Probably private sector with the government.
In Thailand, you mean?
Yes, in most of the Asian countries, in the hotels also you see. So that will help every tourist who come to the hotel can pick up and know what he has to do. Right.
Huh?
So that probably could also be addendum.
Yeah.
Also in the airport, in all our airports, they should keep this info. Plus the government has a very big budget to redevelop all the airports across the Philippines.
Let's wish success for
Yes,
Philippines. Yeah?
Mabuhay
Because
Pilipinas.
this is our home, yours and mine. No?
Yes.
I think you and I are going to live the rest of our lives here. No?
Absolutely.
So Arjun, thank you very much for being on Expat Insights.
Thank you,
and
Raju.
may
Our
God bless
pleasure.
you on your journey. You have
Yes.
1 minute to say anything you wish to your friends in DOT or to your friends in India who should come here.
To all who know us, thank you very much. To all our friends, namaskar and mabuhay.
All right. So thank you for watching Expat Insights. That was Mr. Arjun Shroff, the travel agent, the travel guru between Philippines and India. And so you've had another look into incredible India, and hopefully the travel will increase between the two countries. Next week on Expat Insights, we'll have a subject matter called Enhancing Education Through Teaching. And we'll have a couple of teachers and we'll talk about education. So thank you for watching Expat Insights. Good night and mabuhay.
Good night.